Hello again, it's me, Iris Smith from the small business in Mansfield called the Flower Patch. After I made that one this morning, I've just gone and had a quick sandwich and that, and I thought while I was doing it, oh, I've got some old cups. I'm going to do something with some old cups that we don't use. Instead of them sitting in my cupboard, stacking up high, let's use them and get rid. So I've got some old cups, what are in grey. I've put, as you can see at the bottom in the handle, 2 tie wraps and then one over the top there to secure it. Now it's a solid, I can lift it with one hand, it's not going anywhere, and we're going to make a display. I've got some ribbon. I haven't made a bow, I haven't prepared the bow, but I thought by putting a nice bow here in the centre would look lovely. So let's get the bow done first. Let's get that attached so then we can see how much room we've got. I'm not using my bow maker, I'm going to do it by hand. As I said, I can do bows by hand as well. On these gingham ones you do have a one what's on the top side and the bottom. If you just check out the stitching and you'll see. And then I've got a nice little red one because I'm doing red and white. I did yellow and white this morning and I just thought, let's do a red and white. And this one's got nice, beautiful little white flowers on. And I thought, oh, perfect. And then I've also got this. It's not got no wire in, but I've used it before. And it's very good. It actually stays in place where you'd like it to. So I've just cut these all off of the reel. And I thought, it's not from my oddments. I've checked my oddments and there isn't any in these. So I've just cut a bit off. Right, first of all, we're going to have the black on the back. With it being such a dominant, dark colour, we want the black to set off the red and also the white. Well, it's more a bit like a cream. So we're not going to do, a big bow. It's only going to be a tiny bow, but I've cut enough off to do if I wanted to do more loops. So first of all, I'm going to measure, and all we're going to do is 4 inches for the tail. And that is it, no more. All you do, pinch it together. Let me put that bow down so we can see. Pinch it together like that in your hand. Once you've got that in your hand, go away from you. Go underneath at the back and pinch that loop together as well. And twist it so you can come back on yourself. And then you do the same loop. And the way to check if they're the same height, do that. And if they meet up at the top, then you know you've got it right. So that's all right, that's correct. So pinch that underneath, twist again, and then come back again on yourself. Now I'm only going to do 3 loops. I'm not doing 4. Let me just bring that up. Yep. In fact, yeah, let's do 4. Let me go back and do 4. Just check it again. Now that's slightly bit longer, so pull the tail end just a little bit more. It's better. And then twist. And then go back on yourself again. Go underneath. Again, pinch it underneath. Measure it with that. It's slightly short. Just stretch it. And then that's straight, that's the right length again. Twist again. And then come back on yourself. So once you've come back on yourself, let me just measure these are right. Yeah. Come back on yourself. Twist and bring it to the front. Usually if I don't twist if I'm going to just bring it at the back, because I want it to come back to the front at the bottom, as we call it, a chocolate box bow in the UK. I don't know what anybody else calls it, but that's what we call it. So get your other colour, your red, and you do exactly the same. Put that on top of the black, pinch it in the centre. You will find that your bow's starting to move up to your hand, but that's all right. You know, it still will stay in place. Do the same length again, twist it under, just check, there you go, and then twist. So then the pattern is back on the top. Now come back under and just, you know, push it in underneath your thumb. Just check, that's slightly a little back, a couple of centimetres, a centimetre too long. Perfect. And then twist again. So then the pattern is back on the top. And repeat the same procedure. Just go underneath. Just check. Yeah. And then twist again. And do exactly the same on this last one. Yeah. And then twist, because I want it underneath at the front. So once you've done that one, then it's your white one. And do exactly the same again. Just move that there, because this one hasn't got wire in it. And then do the same. You can do the centre of your bow slightly shorter. You don't have to have them the same length. You can go smaller like that. I'm going to keep them all at the same length. And twist. It doesn't matter if it's not got wire or if it's not got a pattern on it. You know, you must always twist it. And then do it again. Twist. Bring it under where your thumb and finger is. Twist once more. Oops, it's just folded on me. And then bring that under as well. And then twist it so it goes to the front. And I'm going to use a tie wrap on this, and then I'm going to put a floral wire in the centre of the tie wrap. So first of all, we'll get the tie wrap. Turn your hand over like you're checking your time on, you know, what time it is of the day. Get your tie wrap, hold it with your forefinger, and then come underneath. Just make sure that we've got them up yet. Come underneath. Just place your tie wrap in before you put your wire in. Don't pull it tight until you've got your wire in, but go quite there. And I'm just as it's holding at the back, I'm going to slide my floral wire through and then pull. Oh, it's so much easier when you've got tie wraps. So then once you've done that, you've got your bow. So your bow will probably end up like that. So all you have to do with your bow, because obviously the black is going to be at the back, just slide your tie wrap, you know, round near the back. If it's sticking, if it's at the front, like that. So then get your wire that you've got. Let me just find where it's disappeared to. Bring it around the back and just twist it a couple of times. You don't need to twist it too much. But just remove that bow out of the way. And then just twist. And you've still left with your wire, as you can see, but that is what's going to be tying around the handles of the cups. Fluff up your bow before you cut your tie wrap into the position that, or the way you'd like it to sit. And I say the black I've got, which is under the bottom, I tend, with it being 4, I tend to make an X, and I'll show you how it looks underneath with the X once I've just positioned them in the correct position. Bring that forward. As you can see, the bows are an X. You've still got obviously your tail ends there, but that's what you're looking for with all your bows. So then with the red one, don't follow the black one and go on the top. Go in between the space there with your red one. So we'll put that red one there. Then you've got black. And then we'll guide this red one down at the bottom. Then you've got your black one. Then put this red one in the centre of the two black. Oops. Like that. And then get your other one and put it in the centre. So then it looks like that. So then with your white one, you put it in the centre of the two reds. If you can remember to always do it like that, you just can't go wrong. If I just do it like this, because this has got no wiring, so I'm going to have to help this one. So that'll go in between that red there. Oops. I'm all fingers and thumbs today, everybody. Let's just grab my wire. I always hold on to my wire at the back, so then I've got a bit more leeway to manoeuvre things. And this is only a little bow. And try, if you know, I like to get my tail ends and try and put them underneath the loops. So they sit like that. And just do it. Just stroke them over. And just do it like that. So then if you'd like to cut the longest pieces, which I'm going to do, of your tie wraps, then that's how it will. Let me just, not tie wraps, sorry, loops. Crikey, can't we tell it's getting later on in the afternoon? Starting to get my words wrong again. And just keep making sure before you're happy that all your bows are in the position that you'd like them to sit. And then your bow becomes like that. But like I say, always remember when you do the X on the back, your next layer of ribbons put in between the blacks, like I've got the bottom ones. Put your second ribbon in between, and then your third ribbon, then put in between again on the third row. And then you get it all fluffed up. And once you start fluffing it up, it becomes fuller and it looks much, much, much prettier. And as you know, guys, I am all for pretty. So I'm going to cut these tail ends quite short because I don't want them hanging on the floor. So if we just do this with them. Cut that one slightly shorter, not much. And then this black one. And then obviously the red one again, I think. Did I cut it right? No, we've done it. And then once you've cut your tail ends again, just fluff it up again. So everything's where it should be. You tend to spend a lot of time with your bows. But that's all right, I don't mind. I like doing this. And there's your little bow. Now we're going to sit that. Let me just split the wire apart. And that is going to sit there. Just at the front. So let me just attach it to the handles of the cups. Oh, my cat's back. He went out and now he's back. And I know why he's back. It's 4 o'clock, feeding time. Isn't it weird how cats know? Really weird. So then just snip it off like you would usually. And then you've got a little bit sticking out there. Just bend that underneath the cup where the tie wrap is. And then that will keep that with that. So then again, let me just check that the bow's sitting correctly. There you go. I hope you can see that. And that's how your bow's going to sit. I'm not going to put Oasis on today on this. It's just going to stay how it is. So let's get rid of all these old ribbon ends. Right, for our little foliage, it looks a lot actually that I've got out, but again, I won't be using them all, so I say. Right, I've got like the offcuts of the ficus, the variegated one, with me doing red and white. It's got the white along it, and which will blend in lovely with the reds. And obviously I want the green, because green looks lovely, and green's my favourite colour. And it obviously, green goes with everything as well, especially with your flowers. I've got the most common eucalyptus, which the name is Eucalyptus cinerea, and that's the most common one that people tend to use. I've just got some oddments of that out as well. And I've also got some oddments of my fern. Well, I say oddments, it was on a stem and I chopped them into little bits because I don't use these as long stems, so I just chop them all down. And if I can get one out, crikey, I must have put these in really hard. There we go. I'll bring this up and I'll give you a quick look at it. It's a plastic one, but it's very nice and very quite floppy. It's got the dark green at the bottom, if you can see that. And then it's obviously the lime green at the top. And I think on one stem, yeah, you get three leaves on one stem. So we're going to use that as well. I've got some fern out, but these, like again, this is what I'm doing for my oddments. If you've got oddments, little things like this, your oddments will come in really, really handy. So I've got the oddments of this fern that I have here, what we're going to use. And I just took, you know, a couple of pieces of grass that I've just snipped off the stem, where they're spiky, and they'll give also, they've got like a little grey touch in them as well. So we'll use those. And I've also, these came at this size. I thought there was longer when I ordered them. I didn't look. That was a mistake. So another lesson learnt. Your ruscus. Now, I have ruscus on a long stem, but these, I mean, they're exactly the same, but these are like a olive green. They're not as bright as my other ones. So I thought one on each would look nice. And then I've also just, these are oddments again. I've just pulled the leaves off before I started the video at the bottom, because I don't want them the big, because they are quite big. But I took about 6 leaves off on each side, so they end up smaller. And then I've also got my eucalyptus oh gosh, I can't remember what it were. $1 billion. So I've got those, and they are with a silvery blue on them. And then I thought, well, we may add these, I'm not sure. I've just been going through things before I did the video as well, and I've just put them all together, the ones that aren't on the long stems. So they're the oddments of those as well. And I've also brought out my globe fern, which I think would look beautiful against all the flowers on the red. Let me show you these close up, because honestly they are fabulous. Can you see them? The texture They're just wonderful. And like I say, they look fabulous in birthday gifts, wedding gifts, Valentine's Day gifts, you know, bouquets, absolutely anything. So we're going to use perhaps a couple of those. And then I decided to just bring out, you know, some little berries. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. I just thought, well, I'll put them on my table just in case. I've cut, well, I've not cut these. These are 2 oddments as well out of my little flower basket that I've got. And I may want to sit those at the front as well. And I've also got these. These are also oddments. So this looks like it's an oddment, you know, using your oddments display. Another way to use them. And, oh gosh, I'm trying to think what they're called. It's not foxglove. Oh gosh, here I go again, guys. Later on in the day, my brain's gone dead. So there may be delphiniums. There may be. I don't know. They look like it. I hope you can forgive me with it being so later on in the day. I usually finish around 4. And then I've got my red lilies. You know what I'm like with my calla lilies, the wispiness. I've picked those out, but these red ones that I have, they're the only ones that have it, are the little red daisy flowers at the top. The yellows, the purples, the pinks, the whites, they don't have that. So we've got those. And then I've got my beautiful red, it's lovely, wildflower there, or poppy, sorry, let's get it right. And then I thought, well, let me get a carnation spray out, a red one, and we'll use them somewhere in it as well. So that's what we've got this afternoon to do the little arrangement. So now we've got the bow in. First of all, I want to sit these at the front so I can get these out of the way. They've even got pollen on them. You see now, how realistic is that? I've got a lily in my house that I bought. I treated myself to some white lilies. And the smell is divine. Obviously, if you have fresh flowers and you have the lilies, well, as soon as they've opened, remove the pollen if you've got pets, because they are poisonous to cats and dogs. So, you know, be aware of that, everybody, because I've got cats and I've had to put my lilies out of the way where the cats don't go. So, and it really would make them really ill. I'll put this other one here as well. Remove the glue again round the sides, because if you don't, then that'll go hard and you won't be able to put anything around there, because you won't be able to get your stems in. I love peeling this off my hands. I must be crazy. I really must be one of those people who's crazy, who likes odd things. Right, as ficus. Let me cut that at the bottom. Now with the ficus, I don't want to just sit it there. I mean, this is a front facing one, because at the, you know, it's going to be going up against the back. And on there, I will, where your mechanics are, I will put a leaf to cover my mechanics, because your customers again don't want to see your mechanics, so you need to cover them up and make it look more of a professional job. So I may, in fact, manipulate it, and I'm going to sit them there. So if I put one here close to the edge, just wipe the glue off again, off the oasis around the stem you've just put in. It reminds me when you're removing the glue, when you know when you go away on holiday and you get a suntan and then you come back home and you your suntan on your, you know, on your arms or legs, wherever, starts to peel, that's what it reminds me of. And I used to love it when my kids were younger and they'd got a suntan and they'd let me peel the, you know, the skin. Another weird thing. I don't know, it's just something about it. Let's get this band off. Let's look for a slightly bigger one. We'll cut that. I'm just going to take that because, oh, with this being my oddments, I'm taking this off because the leaf's not very straight and it's slightly, you know, well, I've probably caught it with something, so it's ripped slightly there. So again, take off anything that's damaged for your customers. Oh, and I'd just like to say, Julie, who we helped along with her little vase arrangement with the pebbles in yesterday, she's got back in contact with me and it's helped her ever such a lot. And I'm so glad, Julie, that I've, you know, helped you in some way. Again, if you need any more help, anybody, you know, please just let me know, and I'll try my best to do to help you. And I know she's going to be nipping to the range, so take a lot of bags, Julie, because once you're in the range, you spot absolutely everything, and you're like, oh, I like that, I might have that, I might have that. And then before you know it, you get to the checkout, like I did, and you went in there thinking, I'll just spend, you know, probably £30, and you come out spending, you know, I mean, it could be £100 you could be spending, because everything in there is so tempting and beautiful and very good quality. You just can't not but want it. So I'm going to put this one here. Again, rub off the glue. I'll rub it in my hand while I'm looking for another one of similar style. If I can't find one, I'll just cut it. Yeah, I'll just cut this one. And if you can also get some ribbon, I've got some. Let me just cut a piece off and I'll bring it up close to the camera. If you don't want to put moss on, I'll just cut a bit off. You can get this ribbon from anywhere really. I'll just bring it. This is ribbon. I've put actually these on ribbons like I've just done that ribbon. It's that. And that is called aspidistra ribbon. Now you have leaves, aspidistra leaves, which I love, especially when I used to do funeral flowers, because you could bend the ribbon, the leaves over like that, poke them through each other and you'd have a different design. But that is your aspidistra ribbon. You can get it in 9 meters. You know, you can really, it's really great stuff. And if you want to cover the top instead of the moss, pin those in, or glue them actually, just in the odd corner. And when you're putting your flowers in, it goes through, because with aspidistra, it's the same as this. You can manipulate it, and then you can put something in the centre, or your flowers. Your stems, if you cut them at a 45-degree angle, will go through this ribbon perfect. I've done that many a times where I've placed it on the top and then I've just gone through with my stems. If I can show you, let me just cut one to 45-degree angle. Let's get it in another position. And if you're doing an arrangement and you haven't got any moss, I always suggest have this as backup. It just goes through the other side. So it's fabulous. So get it, really, because it's brilliant stuff. So let me just have a look at that. Right, now that is that on the back. I'm not going to put any more of that along the back. I want to use these little bits, what I've got, and just put some leaning over here. Honestly guys, I don't go in the house once I've finished and go searching to see what I've got. It was just by chance that I went in to make myself a drink and I spotted them. And I thought, oh, those cups, I've been wanting to get rid of those cups for a while. I've told my husband to take them to work, but, you know, to use for him and his staff, but he says he's got plenty. So it's a shame, because I would have gladly have let him have them. But if he can't use them, I sure can. I think I'm going to take that one out because it's got no wire in it, and I want something with wire in it. How many did I have on there? Small one. Oh, let's cut it. Have I got another? No, I've not got another one, so we will have to use this. Just part your leaves from each other. Put it back in the hole that you've just had it. Just a tiny bit more glue on it, so it hangs like that. So even though you've got two cups, you might think, oh gosh, this is getting wide, but this could easily sit on your dresser, in your hallway, you know, as a focal piece as you come through. You don't have to have it, you know, huge up here. I'm not going to make this big. You know, we're going to stay relatively small. So I'm going to put these in as a guidance as well for myself. And I'm going to put these at the back. Stick those in. Like I say, you don't have to go high, because they are, even though they are a tall flower, it doesn't mean to say you have to put them in tall. Do the same with the other one. And again, wipe just the glue off the bottom. And that is as high, I'm not going to go higher than that. That is going to be the top of the top. Oops, I've got glue strings everywhere. That is going to be the top of my boundary. I'm not, like I say, I'm not going to go higher. It's going to stay within. Crikey, I've got lots on me. Save those. And that one. Right, let me put some of this in. Dropped a bit off, glue it in. Because if it's loose and come off for me, then it's going to be loose for your customer. So I'm going to glue it on. And then just wipe around the bottom of that as well. Because like I say, that will dry white and the customers will see it. And these I want to sit here. I don't want them on the edge like I usually tend to put them. I want it here. So it's going to give it a different look. So if we put those, one there, because it's still going to droop over anyway, because that's the type of greenery that it is. I think I need to take the band off this one as well. I'm all for covering it. See, another one's come off here. I don't mind if they do come off, but they're easily fixed. Oh my goodness, it's all over my nails. It's probably now because I've got a lot of glue in here that the more of it's following me. I'm going to do the same with that one. In fact, I'm going to let that, bring that up a bit because I don't want it again, like I say, flopping over, because I've got the wispy bits for the flowers for that. So that one is slightly, this one wants bringing up a bit more. Got one where it's got its own mind. There we go. So that'll be like that. I know I've got plenty more. I don't want them all hanging here, so we're not using no more of those. We just wanted a different texture in there. I've got the grasses I want to put at the front with the lilies. I love these grasses, or any grasses like this. I think they're absolutely fabulous. I'm just going to sit that. In fact, let me just manoeuvre it in a different position. I'm going to sit that up as well. Do the same on this side. And just bring that like that. Don't that look pretty already? It looks lovely. Let me just look with these berries. Because again, we'll see, because I can never make my mind up with the berries. That I always tend to put them in a different position. You could even have this. We're gonna have this hanging over. That's why I think the best thing of cut when you cut them short. And I'm going to put that underneath the lily and just have it slightly bent over. Yes, just like that, sitting nicely, setting the lily off. And do the same. Right up close to the lily. And again, manipulate it. Let me just get rid of that glue. Yes, that's lovely. Oh, I nearly put the stem in the glue. And because we've got this fern, having that there, with it having the yellowy, green, well, I say limey green, that would look lovely as well there. I will bring this up closer once I've put these in. Let's sit that again, just like that, and let that just hang over, but not touching the bottom. Do the same with this one. Just bring it under, lifting up your other foliage so it doesn't catch any glue on them. You can just twist them around, you know, into a position where you'd like it to sit. And again, just like that. So I will bring it closer. So it's now sitting all like that. And I hope you like that. I think that looks really, really pretty. It'd make a lovely little decoration somewhere, you know, in the house. So we don't need these now, so I'll put these in the bucket next to me. Let's see, we may not need this fern now. Or we could have some here. Actually, that looks quite nice. Let's get another one out. So that's 3 here. We just see whether to place it there or here. I think I might place it there. Some of them you get a tendency where they tend to just twist themselves around, but you can, you know, put it back. If it's just going to keep twisting around, take it off and then put it in the glue and then wipe around the bottom. And then once it's set, it will set in that position. So we'll do that, and I'm going to put that here. I'm going to try and keep within, you see, I've pushed it fairly far down so it doesn't go above here. Let's just see if I can manipulate it slightly. So that's your first one. Oh, my cat's starting to cry around me. Now we'll do the same on this one. So let's just have a look so I can, like I say, position them. So it's like a backdrop really. Instead of having a hole here, it's giving you that backdrop where you can, it looks like it's, you know, flat at the back, and that's finished it off. I'll hold on, I don't think I'm going to use those, but we'll hold on to it. Now let's get us ruscus. Now these ruscus are push-ups. You can manipulate this whichever, I mean, as you can see now, by me moving this ruscus, it looks more of a natural ruscus. So you can have that again at the back, you know, just leaning over, or you could even have it, if I place one here, you know, somewhere in the centre or even at the side. So, but I like the ruscus for certain things, that is, pushed right to the top. So they're all together in a little bunch. I can push them, because there's the top there, with that little top on. Just place them up, slide them up. I may have to do it one at a time. Maybe too much. And then turn it that way with that one. So then they all become a little bunch at the top. And then with things like that, what you can do, you can fill in the side space here. So yeah, let's give it a, you know, fill it in a bit there. And then we'll just lift up the ficus. And I'm going to place it right to the bottom. So it's just slightly, as you can see, just hanging over at the side. And I'll do the same with this other one. Bring those to the top as well. They're very sturdy. They are very, you may have to have nails to do this. And I haven't got nails. In this job, I've never had nails. I've had false nails. They irritate me. They really do irritate me. I don't feel like I could do things, especially if I'm on my phone, I'm trying to text. All I can hear is like that. And oh goodness, I don't know how all these young ladies, or you know, even the older ladies, can wear them. They get in my way, basically. So I'll put that one there as well, push that right down to the side, and fluff it up so it spreads along. So that's both of those. And then we've got our eucalyptus. So it's a choice between having the cinerea, if I just place one in. You see with the cinerea, I can't really see it unless if I placed it at somewhere here. Let's try a small one of the, yeah, they're better. Just clean my stem. And I'm going to place these behind the lily. Just bring the lily petals in front, and that's where they're going to sit. I want to cut this one down. And I'm going to do the same with this one behind the other lily. See, that's looking beautiful already, and we haven't even got his flowers in. I'm not going to put the cinerea in. Let me put those back. It was just basically, I guess, you know, I couldn't make my mind up whether it be the eucalyptus cinerea or the $1 billion. So, as me being me, I always seem to go for the $1 billion. Right, you can see the gap there. That will be filled. It'll either be a bit more of the eucalyptus where you can sit it just here coming through, which will cover the back and won't leave a gap, or I could even get the seeds as well, you know, put a clump of them together. If I mean I've only got 3 out, I think. Oh no, 4. So you could also pop them in there as well, which I think looks quite nice. So I think I might put quite a clump of them together. So let's get us tape and let's tape them up. First of all, no, let's do it correctly. Let's get rid of all these little. Now these don't only come with these seeds at the top, so I don't know why they've all got, if you can see, those little pods here on them, because there's nothing, it doesn't come with foliage attached to them. They just come like that, just like that they come. So if we remove those, because I don't like those sticking out, again they make it look like something's missing. I found one just up here, so I'll get that off of there. Let me check that there's none on there. Oh, there's one here that I've missed. Hello, you come for your tea? It's in the house. Let me do a video and then I'll be with you. Hey? Hey? I know. What? So let me get my tape and put these in a little bunch and basically try and place them all at the similar height. Oh, you're missing me. Huh? And I'm going to take these down probably to about here. I may cut, well, I will cut it. I just want to make sure I've got a long enough stem. So I will cut these. What? And you may be thinking, well, how's she going to get that in when there's nothing there? Simple. You can either attach it to your bow at the back and bring them forward like that. And that's the way that I'm going to do it. I think I may have to need to cut these again, because I wasn't just showing you that, they looked a bit long. Right. So, I'm to go in front of my mechanics and behind the bow. And I'm going to just fluff those up. Don't worry about the bow. That's not the focal point. That's just there for decoration. But still fluff it up, obviously, at the nearer to the end. Let me just look how high it is. Right, let me just slightly lift it before it dries. There. And I may put these a couple under here. But I do have the back as well, so I do have to cover the back. So let's get this globe fern. Let's see. You don't always have to have this at the front. I know it's beautiful and it'd be nice to see it on show, but I don't always put it at the front. So what I'm going to do is lean it in, press it in, not press it, push it in, sorry, at a diagonal position, and then just manipulate the stem. Just slightly so you can see it, but not all of it, because it also, the smaller bits act as depth as well to cover your oasis. And let's do the other one. We'll put that one in as well. I may just put the odd one under here if I cut one piece into two. Yeah. What? Just underneath the lily. So it's just slightly sticking out, not too much. Sorry about my cat again, if you can't see. It's because he's ready for his lunch, or tea, should I say. I know one's sticking out further than the other, but again, that's that's a natural look of what you'd get. So I won't be using those no more. Now I've had those. I think we've filled enough. I don't think I'm going to use that fern either. So I'm going to keep hold of the eucalyptus. So now we've got our flowers. These was on Advents as well. I spotted them as I was just searching through, and I thought, oh, right, we're going to use those, because I probably won't be using all of that. So we want to have something coming out at that side. Again, manipulate your stem. You want something there. I love them with the little buds on. It's so natural to see them with the buds. I've had some before where they've no buds on at all. So I'm going to put that one. I'll just actually put it there. Just going to stick it in and show you how I'm going to put them. Manipulate the stem. And that one will also sit at the back, just like that. So then with these, I'm going to put some in here and maybe the odd one at the bottom. In fact, I may just put them at the bottom. And then sit one just there. Hope you can see. One there. And then the other one. There. So that's how I'm going to have the carnation spray. And that's how I'm going to put them in. So this, I've got 6, so I may as well use this one and place it somewhere. So let's just, where we've cut it, pull it right back so we can get right to the bottom and get as much as stem as we can. And that is only a little bud. This is a bud opening. It it don't look like, you know, why bother? That's what, you know, oh, just for that. So if you can see, oh, what's she going to do with that? There's not really much there. Again, stick it to my bow and have it here. There's always a place. So let's get these in. But it does look weird, just this, you know. He doesn't know what to do with himself. It's because he's so hungry. Well, I say so hungry. He has 3 meals a day. He sometimes eats more than me. I only have breakfast. Occasionally I may have a sandwich. But, oh gosh, he has 3 meals a day. So does my other one, my other cat. But he's so thin. I don't know why he's so thin with everything he eats. He is greedy, very greedy. My other cat, oh goodness, she likes ham. So one of the neighbours started giving her bits of ham as a treat. Oh, she loves it. And I've said to her, slices of ham. You know, I'm not going to be, because ham's not cheap. So I'm not going to be feeding her with ham. She gets proper cat food. They both do. Right, with this, I'm going to put this again behind the bow where the other one is, where these berries are. Doubt it if it will lean much forward with it being so tiny. But yes, that's how you've got it there. So I'm going to get the wispy bits. One of my favourite, these lilies. Let me just have a quick look, everybody. You see, sometimes people think, oh gosh, she's going to put it there again out the side. I like to put things in different positions and then you spread it and that's what the effect you have. So I'm not all about putting wispiness on the side, as much as I do like it. We're going to have it in the centre. Same with this one. Just move the foliage out of the way. And again, just spread them apart. Now, don't that look pretty? So we've got another one that I want to put in. And I may put one just there. leaning towards there. I'll take another and I'll do exactly the same. And so what I'm going to do with these, I'm co-joining them so they look like they're in, you know, like on your garden where you've just planted one certain plant and it's all grown within the rest of your, you know, the flowers on your garden. So the reason I'm putting these together at the back is so it looks like everything is co-joining. So crisscross them over. Let me just straighten that stem slightly. Like that. I could put some at the front actually, but then I've got all of these. I don't know why I've got them in two different bunches. They're both the same flower. No, they'd be too floppy to go around here. They'd just hang quite low. Because these are really floppy. Even though they're wired, they are really, really floppy. So I want some tape on these because these are paperback. Excuse me. Yeah, so I thought I'd just get a little video in. Hopefully quicker than the last one. So what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to place that there. And with its own little wispy bits along with it, it'll sit nice in there. Just move my bow. And just sit in there. And do the same. Just keep it taped up to prevent all the paper from coming off. So, and then we'll do that one again behind the lily. And just press it down. If you want it floating just above, don't press it down too much, because by doing that you're going to sink it in and it's not going to perhaps be how you'd like. I've got a taller one I think here. See, that's the bottom of the stem and that's got wire in, so as you can see, very floppy. So when you put these in, they always need support. So I never put these to the back because they just droop over at the back. They do need a lot of support. So by putting them in front with something like, you know, the ficus, the eucalyptus, and also having the lily here to balance it on the top of the, well, the tip of the petal, that's your support for it. Just cut that in a bit. Because if I place that here, it'd just, if I can show you, it'd just hang. I mean, I've got it further than it should, but say for example there, that's the effect that you're going to get, and because it's got no support. I mean, if you're looking for the wild meadow effect, then that's great, because in meadows you have flowers drooping over, you know, so that's fine. But in this case, no, we're not doing a wild meadow. There's more, I mean, I love wild meadow displays. So that's got the support from here at the back. And again, we'll put another one in. And I haven't prepared this at all again. I just picked up a load of reds and whites and I thought, right, let's get going with it. Let's start the video and let's see what we can produce. I like doing things like that without planning. Obviously when there's things, you know, that customers come in and they want certain things, then I have to plan. But when I'm just making a video like this, no, I don't. And that's more fun. Looks beautiful, all reds and whites. I'm thinking I need something coming here. Again, let's have a quick look. Do we need something white with the calla lilies being so big? I think we might, because there is quite a lot of red in there. So let me just put these back, everybody. Right near where I am. I haven't got to walk far. Not that I'm lazy. I don't mind walking. Let's have a look. Oh goodness gracious me, there's that much. You stare at something and think, oh yes, that's lovely. We'll have that. White. I said white, didn't I? So, oh, what can't make it look? Bits of this. Or should I put gypsophilia in? I do like gypsophilia. The gypsophilia that I've got, I'll show you on camera close up. It's flocked. And again, I got this from Bella's wholesale, floristry wholesale, when she did a live video. There's a gypsophilia, and I think that is beautiful. And again, like I say, I've got it in pinks, whites, purples, lemons, oranges. I can't remember what other colours we are looking, but I think that is absolutely a stunner, and it's flocked, like I say. So let's see what that looks like at the bottom. I don't want to hide the bow too much. In fact, that looks nice coming out there. I do have these. Let me just slide that in. In fact, let me just press it in. Oh, I can't without lifting up. Oh, I like that, how it's coming in. Now, gypsophilia. Let's get a bit of gypsophilia. Let me get another one. Well, I'm going to keep them as this on the bunch. I'm not going to pull them off, separate them or anything. All I'm going to do is just, you know, make it slightly wispy and, you know, fluff it up so then it sits nice. I tend to do this as well with it. Once you've fluffed it up, you know, like that. Sometimes it stays like that. If you don't really want it so wide, just do that with it again and it'll fall back into place. So that's another little tip for you. You probably always know it anyway. But for those beginners who don't, so I want this quite open to fill this, I'll say corner, it's more of an edge. Just this edge under here, under the fern. Because it's all green here, you've only got the white here and just a slight thin stem at the back. And obviously you've got your glow fern, but that doesn't show as much. So we'll just quickly put that in and place it in there, and then just bend it over and fluff it up at the side, and then just do exactly the same with the other one, because that's quite compact and I don't like really, it's not that I don't like to see it like that, I like to fluff things up. I'm just going to turn it around so I can see from this side where to position it. Here. Glue string. We'll just push it in slightly a little bit more. So that one's there as well. Let's just bring that fern down. Isn't it amazing what you can do with your mugs or cups? I think at the back I'm just going to put a bit of these in. And just sit those. Because also you've got to fill in the back, even though you won't see it much. You really do need to fill the back in. I'll use 2 more. I'm not cutting these because they're at a nice length anyway. And now is eucalyptus. Now what I'm going to do with the eucalyptus, I'm going to cut these short. In fact, no, I'm going to get the salal. What the salal that I like, what will fill in all your bits. Let's grab the oddments. And if you never seen me show you the salal, there's your salal that I used when I was doing fresh flowers a lot in, you know, bouquets, wedding bouquets, top hat, you know, bouquets, funerals. They're absolutely wonderful. And again, like I shown yesterday, I don't keep them like that, where both of the leaves mirror image in each other. I turn either the bottom one or the top one around to give it more of a fuller look. So we'll put those in. We'll cut them relatively short so then they can sit at the bottom and they can cover your oasis. Such a great filler foliage. You know, I would recommend people if doing artificial or real, get salal. Really get it. It's like Solidago as well. Now that is a fabulous filler as well. So I used to get a lot of that for my fresh flowers, especially for the, you know, unfortunately for the sad times for people, for the funerals. My neighbour over the road's got Solidago, and I keep trying to get her to let me have a bit of a cutting. Because that's another thing we tend to do with each other. If we've got plants and that, we tend to swap. But we don't dig one out and swap them like that. We take cuttings and give each other cuttings. That's the people who I tend to have the little parties with. So yeah. We share plants as well. And my friend Kaylee, who's a florist, she gave me something from her garden. I spotted it. She had about 4 or 5 and they were quite big. And Kaylee's just, you know, very kind. She said, you know, take one. And she said, I'll dig them up. And then she gave me 3. Brought them home to show my husband. He loved them. Loved them. There was a very, very deep red. More on going on to a black. It was wonderful. And now we've got those in plant pots and they are thriving. I'll show you what I'm doing in a minute. Well, in fact, I'll show you now. And that's what I'm doing to cover up the back. I'm cutting the stems quite short, about 2 inches in total. Let's see. No, 1.5. Oh, I'm not very good. And all I'm doing is just placing them at the bottom, and this is to hide the oasis at the back. I'm just doing that, doing them in a bulk. Let's get this plastic off at the bottom. We'll do the same until we've, you know, covered it at the back. I might add a bit of the, you know, the variegated ficus as well, instead of just having this, just to give it a different other texture as well. You see how wonderful the salal is? I really do recommend getting some. Now I've just found that that's there, and this will just come off if I pull it, because they do push up and down. So what I tend to do is that bit there, I bend it over so it goes back towards the stem, just like that, if you can see, and they won't come off. Little tricks, they're wonderful. And then turn that one around again and place this one here. Just lift it up. So now that is covered the majority of your oasis, virtually all of it at the back. So you can carry on with these bits at the front if you see bits at the front. I don't want to bring it at the front. You could actually bring it in the centre, but then, oh mind you, that looks quite nice. That really does look quite nice. What do you think, guys? I mean, obviously I'd push it down slightly, but just there. Or would it be better? Would it be better with one of these in? Let me just have a check. I don't want the ones at the bottom, because it'd be too much. So because we've got those there, I'd bring those there. No, I like that. I don't know if you agree. Here's another one. Clean the stem. Let's glue these in. Just behind the lily. Oops, one's come off. Right, I can't get down there to put it on unless I pull it back out. So we'll leave it off. And bring those forward. So you've got that coming forward. So let me just fluff up the bow. I'm just going to lay it flat, everybody, while I just get my bow out and make sure that some of it is, you know, obviously seen. Glue strings. And fluff it up again how you would. Place that one in the centre of that one in the centre of that, the two blacks, and repeat the same procedure, and then bring your white in the centre. Does look really pretty. It does from here anyway, looking at it. These was one of the designs that I made when I first started doing my flower course. Just a simple design. Oh goodness, I took it home and I was buzzing over it. Loved it. Right, I hope you can see that now. Now I've fluffed up the bow. I just think that because it's all one length, I may actually need something slightly, just slightly taller, not much. So let me just have a look. I'll turn it around there so you can see how far we've got at the moment. So let's have a look with some, do I use, because I think I may need something white with those being quite the red at the top. Oh, now do I put little Jiminis in? Just a couple of Jiminis. Again, these are Jiminis. You get 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 in a, well, the tie wrap. So you get 7 when you order these off of Bella's Wholesale again. I tend to go on there a lot because she does live. So again, like I say, these are Jiminis because they're smaller. That's if you're new and you're not sure as of yet what's the difference. I'll get a bigger one out so I can show you the bigger one. Oops, the daisy. I've got the wrong one. I've gone to the wrong bucket. Gosh, they're all sinking to the bottom. I've got them all in different colours, different sizes. So perhaps the size I'm looking for is onto the bottom. There's that many. Here's one. You can get them bigger than this, but if I bend that one over, that's a Jimini because obviously mini means small. Gerbera because it's bigger. So there's a difference in size. So Jimini, Gerbera. They're both the same flower, but like I say, it's just different sizes. So because these are really long, let's snip this tie wrap. Like I say, because these are quite long, I mean, if I'm working in inches, these are 18 inches long, the stem. So that's relatively tall. I mean, we're not going to just sit it there. That's going to look lost all by itself. So let me just have a look at the height. It'll probably be around there. We just want something, like I say, so you can see a bit of white at the back. So it's white, red, white, red, white. If you see what I mean, like I did the one this morning with the yellows, and it was white, yellow, and so on. That is how, excuse me, I was always like told to remember. If you remember that, then everything will become balanced. So I've always remembered that. So as you can see, white, red, white, red, white. So I'm going to cut that just down there. And I'm going to put it here, just behind the salal. And if you look carefully how far I'm going to put it down. Oops, excuse me. If I can see where it is. And I just want it sitting at the top there. I don't want it any higher. I don't want to push it down low. Let me see how much I took off by measuring. That's another way of getting both of them the same height. And I'm going to do the same here, behind the salal. Just like that. So then I'm going to put, no, I'm going to have a third. This one may be slightly either shorter if I look. No, it needs to be up here. So it forms a triangle. So I'll do that. And that one, crack, it's all full behind here now. And I'm putting this into the Oasis. And what I'm doing is just manipulating it to bend slightly to sit it in the position that I'd like. If I can see. In fact, I may have cut that one a bit too short because I didn't move it anymore. It's leaning. There we go. Hey presto. I won't let nothing defeat me. I don't know if that's classed as somebody being stubborn or just somebody well, it's determination. That's what it is. I'm determined. I'm a very determined person. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use these. I'm going to use them up. And I might sit just one under the bottom there on that side. Under the gypsophilia. Just to finish it off so it doesn't look empty. Oops. It looks like I'm going in from the top, but I will bend it underneath. So then that's there, and it's also here, the bottom leaf here as well. We'll do the same on the opposite. Just under the gypsophilia, so there. I'm not going to use those, a bit too much. So there you have it. I'm not going to carry on because I think it's nice and full. 2 of your cups, your old cups in your house that you don't want no more, you know, just grab them, get your flowers out, put a bit of oasis in and start making an arrangement, and nobody will know. Oops. There's one thing I haven't done, guys, and I've just remembered. Let's take a floral leaf and cover our mechanics on the back. In fact, I don't need the stem on it. Don't cut it too much. So I've not got a stem on the leaf, and all I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. You can see the mechanics there. I'm going to put a leaf there, or actually coming down, so it looks like it's coming down like these. And that's all I'm going to do. And then again, that looks more of a professional finish than showing you mechanics and the customers spotting it. So let's just lift that up, stick it on there, just to cover. If you want to put another one on so it doesn't just look, yeah, oh, one leaf by itself, you want it to look a bit more natural, we'll put another one on. We'll put it in the same, you know, position pointing down. But with this one, we will go here at a different angle. Let's get the glue string off. That's it. Bit of glue string there. And there's your mechanics covered. Oh my goodness, it's caught up with me. So that's your mechanics covered. So if anybody looked at the back, this thing, oh, they've got leaves, you know, hanging at the back as well. In fact, I can see a little gap there where the oasis is on there. So I am going to use all these. Again, I don't like to see the oasis. So I will put that like that. That's better. And then we'll use this last one for the opposite side. And there's a bit there. there we have it at the back, everybody. And then from the front, that's what it's looking like. 2 cups, 2 old cups, tie wrapped together. Put them back in your house as a decor, you know, on a table or up against a wall, because there's nothing along the back. If you wanted it on a table, then I would have carried it on and done more flowers this side as well. But I've made it so it sits up against a wall. So if I bring it closer, excuse me. So this is what we have here. Obviously your Geminis at the top with your little calla lilies, what have a little daisy, red daisy on them as well. And then you've got your variegated ficus, and then you've got your little fern here, and then I think that's like a foxglove or something like that. Oops, let me just change hands. And then you have your red poppies there, and then also your carnations and your globe fern with your grasses, and again your ferns here with the yellow in, and then your beautiful lily with this, even with its own pollen. And then you've got your seeds in the centre, and obviously your bow, and it's obviously the same on the opposite side. So if you can see that from that distance, I hope you like that, just for a little different idea for you. Let's just place it there, and again I'm holding just one side of the cup, you know, the other side, you know, it's not moving, so I know it's, you know, it's solid and it's in place. So that's your little second design for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. It was just something that popped in my head and I had to do it. So perhaps a lot of you are like that, like me. You get an idea, you can't sit there and dwell on it, you just got to go and do it. And that's what I did. So I'm going to be off now. It is 20 past 5. My cat will be starving and so will I. Well, so am I, should I say. And I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe and share to your friends and family, and have a great evening and have a wonderful meal, and we'll see you again in the morning. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You're just wonderful people, and thank you for supporting my little business by subscribing. So again, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody, and stay safe. Bye bye.